Hello, my name's Gemma, otherwise known as Velvety Cleopatra, and I am going to tell you today how I managed to make a perfectly fitting pair of trousers for my extremely curvy plus-size body. I decided that I wanted to make the Charm Patterns Ginger Sailor Pants, which is one of the Patreon patterns. However, I've been putting this off for so long because I'm so concerned that my body would cause issues when I was trying to fit trousers. I'd never made trousers before. I've stuck to dresses and tops, but my wardrobe is really lacking in trousers. I mean, I live in stretch skinny jeans all the time, and they are not conducive to my desire for a beautiful vintage inspired wardrobe. So it was time to tackle trousers. And I figured with this pattern, because they're wide leg, it would be easier to fit. Boy, was I wrong. Anyway, I just for some background information, I have a 46-inch waist and 61-inch hips. So that's a huge difference between my waist and my hips, and I knew that it was going to cause problems. I also have a full tummy and a full bottom and very thick thighs. Thick thighs save lives, but they also cause a headache when trying to fit trousers. I've never been able to buy trousers that fit me well, hence why I always wear stretch denim. It's just easier to get it fit. Anyway, I decided to cut out the size 32 to fit my hips. And I sewed up the shorts version in an old pink bed sheet just to see how it was looking. And I was fully prepared for it to not even touch my body, and for there to be so many issues that I would need to try and figure out how to resolve, that I was going to be making 5, 6, 7 toiles to get it right. Okay, so I've made a mock-up out of this disgusting pink bed sheet. The fact that they're on is surprising me, and they're actually not as short as I thought they would be, but there are some issues. So you can see these lines here. I believe this means that the rise, the crotch length is too short. I think it's also, well, I would say it's maybe a bit tight here, but I think the pattern is only drafted with 1/2 inch of ease here anyway, so maybe this is how it's meant to be. This is the facing poking out. So I've just safety pinned them shut. There'll be buttons here. So yeah, I think the crotch length going through my legs needs to be adjusted. At the back, again, they're fitting, but there needs to be more height. And also, there's going to be gaping. I don't know if you can see here that this is going to gape, which I suspected it would because my waist is a lot smaller. So, yeah, I've got lines here again. So this definitely needs more room. Overall, though, I'm surprised that they actually are on my body, because I didn't think they would. And I cut out a straight size 32 because I have 62-inch hips, and that is supposed to fit a 62-inch hip. I would say could even actually do with a tiny bit of room in the hip. I'm gonna have to look into this. This line here is just the facing because it's not sewn to anything. But yeah, this definite issues. Maybe I need a bum adjustment. Like I can squat and bend in them quite comfortably, so they're not going to split, and I can see the vision. I think they're going to look good. I'm going to make them out of a denim chambray fabric and then have like nautical buttons with little anchors on going down the front, which is going to be cute. But yeah, for now I think I need to research the best way about hungry crotch, the best way about adjusting these, like what would be the best thing to do first. I think I'd rather get this area right before I start mucking about with the waistband. There's no point doing the waistband at this stage because everything's gonna change. Same as the back. I don't want to take it in at the back until I've done the crotch. I think crotch first and then go from there, but we're getting there. Whoop. As you can see, although I was optimistic, I really didn't know what I needed to do first or how many different adjustments I would need. I was just guessing, taking stabs in the dark to try and diagnose the problems. And I really wasn't ready to look at my body and decide what adjustments I needed. You know, I didn't want to label myself as having a full bum, a full belly, you know, a sway back, a prominent pubis even. There were so many different adjustments out there when I started looking into it, and I was really not sure what to do. So I asked on some of the social media avenues, channels that I am on. So I'm in a couple of Facebook groups for curvy sewing and also on Instagram. And people were telling me I needed all different kinds of adjustments. People were making comments about my body, which were well-meaning, but they made me feel really bad about myself. Saying things like, you know, the curves of your tummy look the same as the curves of your bum. So basically I'm round, you know, and things like, somebody even said, because you're so curvy, you will never get them to fit perfectly. It's impossible. I don't like that word, impossible. I didn't believe that, but it did start to make me question whether I was ever going to be able to make myself a well-fitting pair of trousers. A few people mentioned top down, centre out as a fitting method. So I decided to do a bit of research into that because I had not heard of it before, but the people that had mentioned it had said it was a game changer. So I thought, okay, I'm going to look into it and see what I can do here and if this can help me. So top down, centre out is a body neutral fitting method. So basically it takes away that need to diagnose your body with problems in inverted commas. You just are working with the fabric and the pattern and your body without having to label your body parts as problematic. So the method was introduced by Ruth Collins. I will put her Instagram details in the description box. And it's a method that allows you to fit on your own, although as you'll see later on in the video, I did have a few struggles with that. I think if you are plus size, very plus size, then you may have a few issues with doing this on your own, but give it a go anyway. There are, you know, if you have someone who helps you with fitting, that would be great, but you could do it on your own. It basically, rather than doing lots of different pattern adjustments that drastically change the way the pattern pieces look, it actually maintains the shape that the pattern is intended to have. It helps you avoid common pitfalls. It's gender neutral, body type inclusive. You only make one toile. That was the main point that drew me in, because I hate making toiles. I find it tedious. It's necessary, but tedious. And I do skip that stage a lot when I'm sewing, especially with stretch fabrics. But I knew for this I was going to have to make toiles. But to have only one, amazing. I had to give it a go. So I started looking at the Crooked Hem on YouTube, and she has a series of videos about top down, centre out. They are brilliant. Honestly, if you want to try this fitting technique, and I really do believe that everybody should try it, especially if you've had problems fitting trousers in the past. Look at the Crooked Hem on YouTube. That series of videos is amazing. They're just short bite-sized chunks telling you every step of the way what you need to do and explaining why it works. So what you do first is you fit the waistband. And it's really important to have that fitting well. You then create a one-legged toile. And you work with the one-legged toile and follow the workflow of top down, centre out. So you start at the top, fit the centre, and work your way out and down. Yeah, so top down, centre out. So start at the top, down, and the centre out. So you're doing it in that order. So you're essentially fitting the crotch first and then working out towards the side seams. But you also add extra fabric to the toile. So you cut it out much larger than the pattern piece because this gives you extra space to work and fit. So rather than having to do pattern adjustments and adding in fabric that way, you start off with extra fabric so you can essentially achieve the same effects as the pattern adjustments much more quickly and easily just with one toile. I don't doubt that if I hadn't used top down, centre out, I would probably be on my 6th or 7th toile by now and probably still not having the results that I got with this method. Okay, so this is my new pattern piece. So the inside lines are the original pattern lines, and I've added the 4 inches to the top. I've extended the dart legs up. I've added an inch all the way down the side seam. Excuse my holy slippers. And then I've added the wedge from the widest point of the hip up to the top, parallel to the grain line, so that it doesn't stretch out of shape when I'm trying it on. So this is my pattern piece for my toile. This is for the... Is this the back? I think this is the back. Yeah, double notches there. This is the back. So now I'm going to do the same for the front. And then I'm going to cut out my fabric. And then I'm going to finish fitting the waistband. And then I'm going to sew this leg together and get it on me and see where we are. So for the front pattern piece, it has a chunk out of it because it has a front flap and a facing. And we don't want that on our toile. So I've just pinned the piece that will fill that hole on, just so I can get the outline of the pants front without that hole. So if you had like a pocket, you would attach the pocket bag to fill in the gap, just for the purposes of this toile, because you don't want pockets or anything like that interfering with the fitting process. It's just going to complicate things. It's far easier to just fit it as a standard shape, and then you can go in and adjust the facings and things afterwards. If you didn't have a waistband and you only had a facing, then you fit the facing instead of the waistband first. But this has a waistband, so I will be doing that first. Basically, these pants have a button flap at the front that buttons up. So I'm just going to treat it as if there's no button flap for now, get it fitting on my body, and then I'll adjust the button flap to match the pattern pieces, like the trousers pattern pieces afterwards. Far easier. Okay, so I've sewn my waistband. This waistband has a button on front that matches with the button flap on the trousers. So I've pinned that on where the buttons will be. So where this pin is where the button will be. I've just safety pinned it together because I don't want to make buttons and buttonholes on a muslin. So it's a curved waistband. And now I need to fit it to my body as I would wear trousers. I like my trousers extremely high-waisted. So I've got control shorts on, which are the ones I would wear underneath my trousers. Very important to wear the same garment. And now I need to put this around me with the centre back at the centre back, where I want my trousers to sit. So I need to decide, and this is going to be too big because I made it that way, but I need to decide how I want my trousers to fit. I think that's the centre. I'll check in a moment. So this is how it should be for the measurements. You can see it's too big. So if I pin this where the button would be, Let's just put a safety pin in to hold it. Okay, so this is the waistband if I keep it to the side. So you can see it's too big. I'm happy with this. So yeah, I think we're definitely going to take the extra out of this front panel because it is just straight. It'll be easier to adjust that. And then I'll just have to remember to make the button flap match. But I'm happy with this. I think this is fitting well. What I've also got here is a line of stitching around the bottom, so I can see where I need to line up my muslin for the leg. I'm going to have to draw it on this front bit, but I think I'm going to make adjustments to this front bit first, then sew a line of stitching along the bottom, and maybe I'll put a button on. I reckon I could get this off over my head. Yeah. The beauty of having wide hips. But yeah, I reckon I could get this off over my head without undoing it. So I might put buttons on, just so it's easier to put on and off. But for the waistband fitting, I'm happy with that. I think that's good. It's just all sitting flat. There is no gaping at the back, which I was worried about because whenever I buy shop bought trousers, they're always gaping at the back. No gaping with this one. Oh, this is the fabric I'm going to use for the trousers. It's like a linen that I got from Pound Fabrics, actually. It was £2 a metre, I think. But it looks like denim. And I'm thinking with some cute little, like, anchor buttons or something. Oh, chef's kiss. Anyway, I'll report back. Okay, so I have my one-legged toile. So I've stitched the inseam and the side seam up to the hip. I have sewn it along the original sewing line, so the original size, not the extra room. That way I can see clearly where the adjustments need to be made when I go back to putting the markings on the pattern. I have left I've stay stitched the crotch curve just to stop that stretching out while I'm trying on. And I've hemmed them because we want a nice straight edge. This is like the sort of mid-calf length version I've gone for because I didn't want to waste this fabric. But yeah, it's on again after earlier. It still fits, feels really good. I'm really happy with that. Now to put the one-legged toile on. So it's my right leg apparently. I was going to do my left leg, I don't know why. So here we go. This feels so strange, putting like just a one leg. So already I can see. Okay, so this is the extra fabric. So this should be, that is where it should be. So the line I've just pinned, that's the original line. So let's just put this on. I haven't even put it to centre front, have I? Hang on. Let's just get it to centre front. This feels quite it's a stitching line on centre front there. Okay, and we should do centre back as well. It already feels like maybe not enough fabric at the back. I think actually it might be okay. It's very hard to do this. I forgot I'm supposed to have another mirror set up. I will get another mirror. But there we go. So I'm pinned at centre front and centre back, I think. Yeah, well this kind of works as two mirrors actually. So we're fitting at the crotch. How are we looking? They're very wide. These are sailor trousers though, so they're meant to be like, kind of like bell bottoms. So the crotch feels like it's fitting well. Does the side seam straight? I think it is. That's not bad. Things start to happen then. So I pin the rest of this. Hold on. Okay, so I've pinned all around. So this is what the front's looking like. So there's something going on here. I'm not sure how to fix that. Side seam seems to be hanging straight. I did get another mirror. That's straight. And then the back feels like it's okay. Feels pretty smooth at the back. Maybe the dart needs to be moved. But actually, I feel like that's not bad for the back. But I did need extra length there. You can see I can't even get the line. I mean, that's not surprising because I have quite a full bottom. So now I need to work out, what do I need to do? I've got some extra room here so I can, ow, God, I hate working with pins. Ow, oh my God. Okay, I'm switching to safety pins. I hate these. But I've got some extra room here so I can kind of move this out. I feel like, yeah. This may actually, I don't think these are going to be too bad, to be fair. Maybe I need to drop this a little bit. Let me try that. This is rather tired editing Gemma speaking. So before you watch the next part of this video, just bear in mind that I'd spent approximately 20 minutes, that's all, but 20 minutes trying to get that one-legged toile to fit me. And those weird lines near the crotch, I just could not work out how to get rid of them. And the problem was, I don't know anything about trouser fitting. And I just assumed that the crotch had to fit really closely to my body to be fitting. As it happens, there's more than one way to get a good fit on the crotch. And all I needed to do was drop the front part down a bit and to get rid of those lines. But at this point, I didn't know that. And I was so frustrated. So yeah, just bear that in mind. This is a classic case of user error in this instance. It's not a criticism of top down, center out or the pattern at all. It was me not knowing what I was doing. This is like learning to ride a bike in a way, but once you cracked it, you've cracked it. So this has been my second day of trying to fit the one-legged toile using the top down, center out method for trousers. And I'm currently lying on my bed in a huff because I just can't get it to hang right on me. And it looks great at the back, but the front is just, I've got these like drag lines coming from my belly down towards my crotch. And I've asked for advice on some sewing groups and everyone's like, you need to do a full belly adjustment. You need to do a crotch length adjustment. You need to do crotch depth adjustment, like all these different adjustments. And you know, the point of top down, center out is that you don't blame your body for the fact that the trousers aren't fitting you. It's basically you take away the need to label your body with all these problems like, you know, full belly, full seat, you know, things like a prominent pubis. You know, I don't want to label myself with this stuff. I actually really like my body now. I've done a lot of work to learn to love it, and this is really frustrating that I can't get these trousers to hang right on me. And somebody even said, like, the curve of your front resembles the curve of your back. And it's like, so you're basically saying I'm round. Thank you. And I know they're well-meaning comments, but they're making me start to feel slightly, what's the word? Why can't I remember words? Insecure, that's it. Slightly insecure about my body again. And I've done a lot of work to stop that. So I can't really read those comments at the moment. I need to just step away from it and just think to myself, it is not my body that is wrong. It's not my body's fault that this pattern isn't fitting me right. It's not my body's fault. It's just, it's very easy to just be like, oh, you know, and I caught myself thinking things. I wish I didn't have such a large belly. You know, I bet it's really easy for like women with like flat tummies to fit trousers to themselves. And little things like that where I was sort of like nitpicking at my own body again, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. By the way, this camera angle is very unflattering, I know. So yeah, I'm going to step away from it for a while, I think. I'm going to go back to making something that I know fits me and looks amazing. I've got like summer dress plans. I'm not giving up, but I need to not think about it for a while. It's very hard sewing for yourself when it involves looking at your body so much, especially if you're insecure about your body and you have body confidence issues. And I've done a lot to work through mine, but it's very difficult when you have to scrutinize every little part of your body just to get a piece of clothing to fit you. And these are really wide leg trousers, and I don't know why I'm having problems. I can't work out the issue, and I need to just, I need to work it out, because I really want to make trousers for myself. I'm sick of buying poorly fitting trousers from shops. I'd rather make my own poorly fitting trousers, to be honest. But yeah, I'm coming back to this. I will come back to this. I'm going to leave it a couple of days. It's currently Tuesday, and I think I might leave it until the weekend and maybe make myself something else in the meantime, because I want to feel good about myself again. So I need something that I know I can rock, you know? Yeah, that's the plan. I'll report back. So I'm still working on my top down center outfitting for my trousers, and I feel like we're getting really close now. By having the crotch hanging lower, this seems to be smoothing out the area here. Just remember, I'm not aiming for perfection here. I'm just aiming for good enough. This is my first time. The fabric I've got for the trousers is like £2 a metre. So, you know, if they're not perfect, it doesn't matter. But anyway, I think the fit on the back is pretty good. Everything feels quite smooth there. I've had to pin it to my underwear to stop the seam shifting over, because every time I moved it was like sliding about, which is really annoying. Right, nobody ever tells you how hard it is to fit on a plus size body, on your own plus size body. Like, I can't do the side seams up. They will do up, but I can't maneuver myself to, like, I can't reach. Like, I've got boobs, I've got belly. Like, how am I supposed to do this on my own? And this method is meant to be so that you can fit on your own without help. And I imagine for slim people, that is actually easy to do, because your arm is long enough to reach to the side seam. I've got a lot of curve here to get my arm around. I actually can't reach to do it. So I don't know how I'm going to tackle this. So as you can see, it will do up. I'm thinking maybe if I like fold it over so I can see where the seam will be. And then, see, I'm even struggling now. Like, I'm going to have to put a safety pin in here to close this. And you've got to like keep it straight and don't pinch too much. I've absolutely pinned this to my shorts here, and that's going to be a problem because I've got to get out of this. And now I'm thinking if I just fold it flat, I don't know, it's difficult. It's so difficult to do this without help. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I'm kind of stuck. I need a fitting buddy, but I don't have one. I've got a mannequin who's made to my measurements, but she's a bit more rotund than me, and I don't want to like put it on her. She hasn't got any legs either, so again, an issue. I don't know whether to put it on her. So take this off me now, unpin it from my shorts here. It's just this one here that I've gone through my shorts as well as the fabric. There we go. That's better. Oh, I've done it again. Oh my God, I'm getting so irritated by this. But okay, so I'm thinking this though, the fit on the crotch is good. It's just the side seam. The fit at the back is good. I can bend in it. So I should be okay sitting down. I will try sitting down, but I think I might put it on my mannequin, do up the side seam, try it on again and see if it fits okay, and then baste the seams so that I can put it on and actually move around and see how we're doing. I'll draw the lines on so I can see where the lines are and baste the seams closed and see how it is. But I feel quite happy with this. The only thing is, because they're wide leg, the minute I close my legs, we end up with all this going on, which I don't know whether that would still be there. I mean, I guess there's got to be some fabric here because my belly is here, so maybe it's always going to do that. But standing like this, it's pretty, like, oh, I mean, I've just made drag lines because I pulled it there, but it's quite like fitting pretty well, I think. It's just the side seams. Maybe this would be easier with two legs because I could actually see what is going on there. I don't know. I think maybe I'm as close as I'm probably going to get. I need to sort the side seams out somehow. There's going to be excess fabric here. I can just see it. Like, it's not going to go smoothly around my hips. So that's going to be an issue in itself. I think I'm just going to have to try and close the side seams as best I can. But they are hanging straight down my body. The hem is level. The back is good. I think I might be nearly there, you know. But I've pricked myself with so many pins. Anyway, let me go and get Veronica and see if I can put this on Veronica and finish off. Veronica's my mannequin, by the way, my dress form. See if I can finish off the fitting on Veronica. She's got quite chunky hips like me, so it should work. I'll be back. Veronica, everyone, Veronica. This is my bootstrap dress form. I made her. As you can see, she is me. So we're going to try, and the only thing about Veronica is her boobs are a little bit smaller than mine, but it's okay. I am going to remake Veronica at some point because I would like to put the lines on so that I can drape and see the lines through the fabric. But for now, Veronica she's just, you know, she's Veronica. Right, I should be able to put this on her easily because she doesn't have legs. So, let's see. This is backwards. Oh dear. Right, okay. Right. This isn't bad. This is not bad, I have to say. I'm impressed with how far I got, considering I've never done this before. I think this is actually pretty good. So now I can close the side seam. Also, it just touches the floor, which is good because I can see where I need to adjust. But now I can close the side seam and then try it on me again and see how we are. So I'll just close the side seam. I've taken a bit more into the dart at the back just to get it to lay flat against the body. This was something I couldn't do on myself because it's just too hard to pin around the back. But as you can see, the seam line is where it should be. They look good on the back. For a first attempt at trousers, these are going to look absolutely banging, to be honest. And I'm looking forward to sewing up a full mock-up of them. Okay. I think these look actually really good. Like, really good. I would be happy with trousers like these, to be honest. I feel like they are fitting really well. They're not too, like, loose around the tummy. There's a couple of lines, but I think once I make them up in the real fabric, maybe you won't notice those so much. It's fitting good on the bum. It doesn't look like it's hanging as wonky as it did on Veronica either. Have I done this? Have I cracked this pretty well? I think I might have, you know. I think I might have. Sorry, I don't like having my hair tied back. It makes me look like a pinhead. Have I done this? I'm gonna take some pictures and post on Instagram for comments. So I've sewn my toile together and basted it, and I can definitely see, so it's on the other leg now because I've turned it right side out. So I could definitely see I could take it in a bit more on the hip here. Side seam is hanging straight, so that's good. And so the back looks good. I think we're pretty good now. Yeah, I think I want to try sewing up a full toile now. So I'm currently unpicking the basting stitches where I basted my toile together, so that I can get the pattern pieces and transfer the adjustments onto the pattern pieces. And then I am going to make a full toile because this is my first time making trousers. It's my first time working with top down, centre out, and I really want to make sure that I have fit them well enough that I'm going to be happy with the final project, the final garment. I don't want to sew up my fashion fabric and then find that I've missed something really obvious, or when I put it on my body and have two legs, like a full pair of trousers, that suddenly something is skewiff or not right or too tight, or I can't sit down in them. That is a concern because obviously I've tried it with only one leg. I think it should be fine. I left enough room for bending, sitting. It should be fine. But I think, yeah, I'm going to do a full toile and see how that is. I'm going to make it out of the calico, and I'm going to do the button flap on the front and everything. I'm just going to do it as if I was making the actual sailor pants, but in calico. Okay, excuse my hair. It's still drying from having a shower. earlier, but I've made a full mock-up of the ginger sailor pants. 2 legs, full length, facing and everything. Firstly, too big on the waist still, so I'm going to take that in. I'm just going to take like a wedge down the front here. I'm not wild about how they look on me, if I'm honest, but I never like how trousers look on me, so I think the problem is, right, I'm very used to wearing figure hugging trousers. I wear stretch, like jeggings, all the time, like all the time. I really wanted to be like blown away by these, but I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. Maybe I just need to get them finished. I don't know. But if I'm walking, will it be like... Oh, I just don't know. Maybe they just need taking in a bit. Oh, I really wanted to love these and I just don't think I do. I'm going to take some pictures anyway and assess. So, having reflected on the trousers overnight, I've decided that I'm just going to go ahead and make them out of my fashion fabric, which is this kind of denim coloured linen. I think it's like a linen blend. Anyway, I'm just going to go for it because this fabric's a bit more drapey than the calico. I mean, the calico fabric... Ow, I just pricked myself with a pin. This calico fabric is very, like, stiff. And this is a lot more drapey. So I think they'll hang more nicely in this. I've finished the trousers. Hence why I'm all dolled up. And I love them. I actually love them. They're like, they're super like, I don't want to use the F word, flattering, because I hate it, but they are. They're very like, they skim over my lumpy bits, which I was worried about with high-waisted trousers. I did, you know, I'm at peace with my visible belly, but in certain styles I just want it to look more streamlined, and this just, they just skim over the belly. I love them. I actually love them, and I thought I was going to hate them, so I'm so happy. But yeah, they're super long. I like my trousers long though, because if I wear them with heels, with flats I would probably need to take these up a little bit more. I might take them up a little bit more, but I'm happy with the fit. They're sort of, they're fitted around the waist, but there's still room, and I can bend and sit in them. They're perfect. I just love them, and I got these cute little nautical buttons to go on them because I'm just all about nautical things. But yeah, I'm chuffed. This was such an experience. Using the top down, centre out method. Game changer, okay? It was so nice to make something and not have to diagnose my body with problems in inverted commas, you know. I didn't have to tell myself that I had a full bum or a full belly or knock knees or a sway back or, you know, any of those things. It was just make the one-legged toile and just move it around on your body until it fits properly. And it took me a couple of attempts, but I only made one muslin. I only made one toile, one-legged toile, and then I made a 2-legged toile just so I could check that I'd definitely done it right, because you know, it was my first time, but they fit great. And all I had to do was adjust the waistband on the second toile. So much less faffing about than doing loads and loads of pattern adjustments and not actually knowing what I'm doing. Because I don't know if I need to do, you know, a full belly and a full bum adjustment. I would assume that I need to do both because I have a belly and a big bum. but maybe I don't need both of those things, you know? On my body, on my super curvy body, they fit. Try it. If you've ever struggled with fitting trousers, pants, whatever you want to call them, try top down, centre out. I am telling you, it is a game changer. And you can be making trousers. I put trousers off for so long. I've been sewing for 3 years. This is the first pair of trousers I've ever made for myself because I was scared of fitting them to my body. You don't need to be scared of trousers. You can do it. Anyway, thank you for watching my journey in pants fitting. Please do like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know if you've tried top down, centre out. Let me know if you're going to try top down, centre out. And if you've got any questions, I'll put my measurements in the description box below as well. But yeah, please do let me know what you think. And do, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to me, please. There's more of this to come.
I want to be by the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea. You and I, oh how happy we'll be when each wave comes a-rolling in. We will duck or swim, and we'll float and fool around the water, over and under, and then up for air. R is rich, my is rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside your side, beside the sea, beside the sea.